Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have waited so long for this, or at least I've waited so long for this. They fixed the glitch. Yay! No, that's not what we've waited for. We have waited for the ZERG campaign. Finally, after struggling through the mess that was the Terran campaign, we are finally moving on to my main race, the ZERG. It's been like months since I've started this Let's Play now, and I've just been anxiously awaiting it this whole time. Holidays swept through, kind of mucked things up, so, you know, production kind of fell behind, but finally we are here. Now I get to play and explain my favorite race. The Swarm have crushed the meager human resistance and laid waste to the 9 of the 13 Terran world. Shortly after the fall of the Terran capital world of Tarsonis, the main Protoss fleet abandoned the Terran sector. Now, efforts continue on Tarsonis to weed out remaining Protoss forces. Sir, campaign override. Oh, excuse me, that was disgusting. Among the ruins. We are on Tarsonis right now.
Awaken, my child, and embrace the glory that is your birthright. Know that I am the Overmind, the eternal will of the Swarm, and that you have been created to serve me. Behold that I shall set you amongst the greatest of my cerebrates, that you might benefit from their wisdom and experience. Yet your purpose is unique. While they carry forth my will to the innumerable broods, you have but one charge entrusted to your care. For I have found a creature that may yet become the greatest of my agents. Even now, it resides within a protective chrysalis, awaiting its rebirth into the Swarm. You must watch over the chrysalis and ensure that no harm comes to the creature within it. Go now and keep safe my prize.
As the giant glowing eyeball has told us, we are a cerebrate. What is a cerebrate? Well, it seems to just be a entity created by the Overmind, which I'm not entirely sure what the Overmind is outside of a giant floating eyeball. But he seems to be the ruler of all the ZERG. Very interesting. I wonder what else we will find out about the ZERG as we go through this campaign. Well, objectives: create a spawning pool, a hydralisk den, and protect the chrysalis. No problem.
The hatchery is the heart of any ZERG colony. It spontaneously generates larvae, which in turn are used to spawn your various warriors and minions. Now, create a drone and start gathering resources.
So here we have our Zerglings, the tiny little dog-like creatures that have swarmed so many of our Terrans.
Minions. As your forces grow in number, you must hatch more overlords to control them.
As he said, our supply, or in this case, control, is stored in overlords. These are detectors, they are floating units. All they can do is float around. At the moment, all they can do is float around and give vision for us. As we climb up the tech tree, we will be able to turn them into drop ships effectively and increase their speed.
Warrior strains. You must generate the various hive structures. The drones themselves mutate into these structures. Yet be careful. Never use your last drone to make a building.
So as was just described quite interestingly, ZERG units, ZERG workers, shapeshift effectively into the buildings that you want them to build. And in that essence, they get consumed, and they are turned into just whatever you've told them to turn into. For example, creep colony, hatchery, what have you. You'll notice that the hatchery is continuously creating these little wormy things. These are our larvae. Larva is the real, true resource of the ZERG. In everything that ZERG is comes from larva. Everything. Everything, everything, everything. Oops.
Now, order your drone to become a spawning pool.
I don't have 200 minerals yet.
You
Okay, now I do.
notice that structures can only implant themselves upon the creep. You can make creep colonies to extend the creep, but only a hatchery can be built upon open ground.
As I was saying before, I was so rudely interrupted by other cerebrates. What was I talking about? Larva. Everything ZERG unit comes from larva, so the only actual production building ZERG has is your hatchery. That's where larvae come from, that's where your units come from. You get the points. No, you mine, you turn into an extractor. Become more drones. Creating structures allows us to build units from hatcheries, which I'm sure they'll explain just in a moment here. Or not. I'm gonna make a creep colony a couple actually, to protect us from potential attacks, which I'm sure there will be attacks. Hi, Zaz.
I'm a cerebrate of the Overmind.
Nice to meet you.
Located a small band of Terrans who could threaten the chrysalis and the hive cluster.
Well, that's no good.
Not allow them to leave here alive.
Can do. Now that our extractor is complete, I'll throw a few on gas. We won't need too much gas, just a bit to, you know, get some upgrades and create some lisks. I've pretty well lost my train of thought. I'm sure I had something important I was talking about, but I can't quite remember. You create structures to allow you to create units.
Require more Vespene gas.
I don't have the gas.
Require more minerals.
So in essence, your production is really only limited, not really by your resources, though that is a part of it. Your production is more or less limited by the number of hatcheries you have available, and subsequently the amount of larvae that is available to you. When zerglings spawn from a larva, one larva makes 2 zerglings. Each single zergling is half a control, half a supply. So this is, though I have 12 zerglings here, this is only 6 population. I'm gonna kind of just spread my overlords out a little bit, just for the fuck of it. I'm gonna make you control. Actually, no, you're gonna be control for. No. I screwed up my highways already. Yep. That's why I put up the creep colonies. Protect yourselves. Alright, we've got plenty of minerals and shit right now, so I am going to make a hydralisk tin so we can make us some hydralisks. I'll make a bunch of overlords. And then we're gonna just do a nice rollout and smash them up, smash them to bits, fucking destroy them. You know the whole drill. So while I'm kind of just doing a little bit of macro here, I'm going to explain what exactly it is that I love about ZERG so much. In essence, they just fit the theme of StarCraft so perfectly. And what I mean by that is, like, let's take a look and really analyze what's going on with the mechanics of the game here. So we've got these minerals. I don't really know what they're made of. They're called minerals. I think they have an actual name if you looked in the... If one were to look in the manual, they would likely find the name for the minerals. I ain't got a clue what they're called. By the way, these are hydralisks. Hydralisks are amazing. Amazing units. And we're going to upgrade missile attack. Can I? No, I cannot. We also have this gas here that it's called Vespene gas. It does something. So let's say Terran, right? You know your Terrans, this Earth colony. They go into space and they come across these minerals in this gas. How is it that they are able to turn minerals and gas into soldiers and tanks and Goliaths and all sorts of shit? How do they do that? It's a video game. That's how they do that. There's no real logic to it. It's the same with the Protoss. Protoss warp units in from outer space. I actually should make another hatch now that I'm thinking about it. Where's my hatchery? There. There's fine. ZERG units slowly regenerate health naturally. It's kind of busted. What was I saying? Yeah, Protoss units are warped in from other planets, so why do they need minerals and gas to make the warp function? Like, shouldn't they have some other way to make that kind of shit happen? But if we were to look at the ZERG and, like, put them in the rules of this little video game environment, we would find that it actually fits really well. It makes a lot of sense. We've got a race, a species of creatures that are able to take minerals and take gas, bring them back to their hatchery, and evolve other units from them. And by collecting these, like, say, you know, it takes 50 or what have you minerals to make drones. That amount of minerals is what it takes to create a drone out of a larva, or, you know, create zerglings out of larva, or overlords, or what have you. Their production is limited by the hatcheries, which makes sense, you know. They don't have units coming out of these things. They just, I need upgrades. So I want speed first. We've got all the gas we need. A couple more hydralisks. And we're gonna make a rollout. Of course, I want to kind of get some upgrades first. So, as I was saying, I'm sorry I got lost in the macro there. You know, they bring these gas and minerals to the hatcheries, which are in turn able to make units. So, for example, Hydralisk costs 75 minerals and 25 gas. Well, what do they use the gas for? Probably because the Hydralisks are range units. They probably need the gas to be able to shoot the spines of what have you out to attack the enemy. And, like, let's think about supply. How does supply work? Like, why is it that Terran needs to make supply depots in order for them to have more units? Honestly, it doesn't really make sense. Like, they say, oh, that's where the supplies to the units are held. It's like, yeah, okay, sure. But, really? I don't know about that. We can make a rollout soon. But with the ZERG here, it makes perfect sense. No, I want Carapace. I want this. I don't want Carapace, I want this. And then, Sorry, I lost my train of thought again. Where is it? It's coming back to me. Give me a minute. The control. There we go. The Overmind controls all the ZERG. But he really can't just do that by himself. That would be a huge amount of, like, neural strain on him. So he created these guys to share the neural load. And there's a population limit because, like, these guys can only share so much of the neural load before they, too, get, like, fucking... And I was like, hey, that's too much, man. We can't do anything with this. Sorry, looking at things. So, blah, 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 blah. What I mean to say is, the ZERG are great, and I love them so much, because they just fit into the fantasy world that Blizzard has created here, just so perfectly, as well as they just make a lot of sense to me as far as production, as far as, you know, just all parts of... I am out of circlings. As far as all parts of just the game go, it just makes so much sense to me. Like, when I first started playing StarCraft, I had a lot of difficulty understanding why. Like, why do supply depots exist? How are these a thing? Like, what do they do? But when I got to ZERG and just started playing around with them, I went, oh, this all makes perfect sense. Now let's just make a bunch of hydralisks. So as you can see, like I was mentioning, hydralisk ranged unit, really just backbone of the ZERG army, especially in StarCraft Classic. They are just invaluable. In lower levels of PvP, it is not uncommon to see just mass Hydra as a ZERG player. If you're up against a ZERG player, I should say. I think there's more guys over here, so we're gonna just meander over this way. I'm gonna put a few more back on gas, because we need the Vespine gas.
Our forces are under attack.
And that is all for now. Victory. So I'm not entirely sure if I made all of my thoughts clear. If I didn't, I'm sorry. Hard to use the dome piece sometimes, but basically just... The ZERG just spoke to me as... I just understood them. They feel really good. They feel like... It really makes you feel like you're in the world of StarCraft as the Cerebrid, because you are actually controlling all these little units that are completely mindless and don't do anything by themselves. They have no thoughts of their own. They exist only to serve the Overmind, and they need to be controlled in order to be useful. So, like, when you have units that are getting attacked and just standing around, and because you didn't tell them the whole position, that makes sense for ZERG, because you didn't tell them to do that. Whereas, like, you know, the Terrans or the Protoss, like, it makes sense that they wouldn't do that because it's a video game, but in real life, if they were getting shot by something, they would probably turn around and shoot it. Anyways. Aggression.
I am well pleased, young Cerebrit, and so long as my prize remains intact, I shall remain pleased. Thus its life and yours shall be made as one. As it prospers, so shall you, for you are part of the swarm. If ever your flesh should fail, that flesh shall be made anew. That is my covenant with all Cerebrits. Now you have grown strong enough to bear the rigors of warp travel with the Swarm. Thus we shall make our exit from this blasted world and secure the chrysalis within the Hive cluster upon the planet Jar.
Remnants of the Protoss fleet still linger within this planet's orbit. They will attempt to block our exodus at every turn.
My brood shall aid you, Cerebrid, should you require assistance.
So now we have to bring the chrysalis to the beacon, get off of Tarsonis, and go to the home world of the ZERG, which is Char. I haven't really talked about the chrysalis yet. But we hear said the ZERG have come across something. And this something is very powerful. And the ZERG want it, and it is being assimilated into the Swarm as we speak. What could it be? Anyone with half a functioning brain who's been watching the series would know exactly what it is, but I'm going to pretend that I don't know what it is for the sake of no spoilers. Because maybe it'll be a shock to you, and if it is a shock to you, I want you to experience that shock. Bring the chrysalis to the beacon. Against Protoss, okay, so Zerglings, first of all, are used throughout most of the game in PvP.
As you will, Cerebrid, they will serve you unquestioningly. Go now, and bring swift wrath to all who would oppose the Swarm.
I lost my train of thought already. Zerglings are used throughout most matchups, throughout most of the match. They're pretty good units. Hydralisks as well, made throughout most of the matchup, because they're pretty good units. In this particular mission, we have a very special unit right here. This is a Hunter-Killer. Normal Hydralisks have 0 armor and 10 damage. These bad boys, the Hunter-Killers that is, have 2 armor and 20 damage. They are going to carry us. We can actually pretty well win the whole mission with just these guys. It's pretty fucking funny, if I'm being honest. That's not what I wanted. When you cancel a mutation, that consumes your larva, so keep that in mind as you play your ZERG. Make sure you know what you're doing. I'm gonna slap down a couple creep colonies.
Require more minerals.
So that we... I'm gonna fuck yourself. So that we will be protected, because we are going to get attacked from this direction. Just so you're aware. We have gotten Mutalisks, which are a flying unit. They shoot little glaives, I guess they're called, that bounce to 2 other enemies, and they deal 3 damage less each time. Mutalisks are pretty good, man. Mutas are good. They're kind of OP, if we're being honest. Oh, I need an extractor. Whoa, that's really far away. Back in classic Brood War, Mutalisks kinda just ruled everything. Nothing could really stop them. They were pretty fucking powerful. And they had to, in the expansion, Brood War that is, they introduced a lot of units to deal with the Hydralisks, because, not Hydralisks, the Mutalisks, because they were busted, they were overpowered. It was ridiculous. I wonder if I want another creep colony. Do I want a spore colony? I don't know if I do. Okay, that's finished. Throw a couple on gas. I need to make some more of these bad boys, and then that'll probably be enough drones. Zerg is pretty unique in the sense that most other races will continue worker production throughout the entirety of the game. This one, the ZERG, that is, really doesn't need to do that. They kind of will saturate the minerals, at least that's what it's called, saturate. And after that, after their minerals are saturated, that's pretty much enough. Oops. Tried to learn me hotkeys. That's usually no. Stupid fucks. Fuck you, dragoons. Lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Mineral saturation. Long story point, eventually you're gonna have enough workers, and you don't need to make workers the whole time, as one would do with other races. We're just gonna make a push out here because these fucking hunter killers are busted. It makes this level so fucking easy. You done? Good. Let's get speed. May as well make some more for the hell of it. I want an Evo chamber.
Our forces are under attack.
You guys are fine. Oh, go fuck yourself. Evo chamber. I'm not sure if I was talking about anything, but we're just going to continue to run up against the Protoss here and just poop on them. Really, these hunter killers are just so busted. I'm starting to lose them now, which is unfortunate. But I'll probably be alright.
Evolution complete. We require more minerals.
If you're good, which obviously I'm not, but if one was good at the game, you could actually beat this whole level with just the hunter killers, which is kind of busted. Kind of ridiculous. And very funny. I've seen the speedrunners do it. It's very entertaining.
Our forces are under attack.
Well, that's not exactly what I wanted you to do. That's what I wanted you to do, but yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Evo chamber, let's... missile attacks.
We require more Vespene gas. We require more Vespene gas. Our forces are under attack.
Not much to say about this mission. This mission is very easy, because, like, as you can tell, I'm just massing Hydralisks, and it's going pretty well. I only have one control group, and they're just absolutely pooping all over everything.
Our forces are under attack.
I could probably make some Zerglings, too, if I was so inclined. Not really necessary, if we're being honest. As you can see, we're doing pretty well for ourselves. Yeah, that should be able to handle it just fine.
We require more Vespene gas.
I'm glad to be playing StarCraft again. I have been busy with, holiday things. Christmas, New Year's is coming up. By the time this is uploaded, it'll be the New Year. Happy New Year, 2020. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfuckers. What have you. We should lair. Because we can. And in short, it's just really good to be playing StarCraft again. It feels so good. I love playing me some ZERG. I've been looking forward to this for so long. I'm sorry, I'm going to shut up about it, I promise, but it just... it feels so good, man. You want to target fire these cannons, because otherwise these cannons are going to make your day really bad. Getting attacked again by more what have yous. Those are zealots. They didn't stand a chance, if we're being honest. Now we have layer tech, which means we can make a spire and make some hydralisks. Not hydralisks, they're called... I don't know what the fuck they're called. I forget their name already. Mutalisks. I should know what they're called. I'm stupid. I don't know. Should not be there. Go this way. You too. Come along, boyos. Let's make it happen, Captain. I'm gonna be out of supply, but I really don't need any more than this, as you can tell. I'm stomping pretty easily. Nothing to it. They should be afraid. The Terran, the Protoss, they should be afraid of the ZERG. It's as simple as that. Oh, you were trying to warp something in, huh? Nope, ain't gonna work out well for you. Where else do we go? Oh, okay, over here. I'm gonna make just a bunch of overlords so I can make more hydralisks. Not that I necessarily need more, but I'm going for it. I lost the hunter killers. Sadness. Sadness. Right. Get missile attack too. And I think that is actually all the Protoss forces, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure we can just take our little chrysalis to the warp gate now. Watch him go. Oh, no, you little shit. Grab this. Now, go here. Let's watch him, shall we? Oh, well, that was a mistake. Look at my APM. If I just hold down the button, I can get up to 300 APM, no problem. Easy peasy. Lemons squeeze me. All is right with world.
Prepare yourself, Cerebrate. Your first jump through warp space could be unsettling.
Noted. Oh, yeah, BB. I lost way too many units, if we're being honest. That's alright. Wow, they had many resources. Oh,